I think I'm live. All right. Hey, everybody. How are y'all today? Zip up my cardigan. So I realize maybe that's not the best thing. Okay. How's everybody today? When you hop on, say hi. Let me know you're here. Today we're going to do a wreath on a 14-inch grapevine base. So I'm going to give it a quick haircut. As you can see, kind of crazy. I got this one at Michael's, but it's just a 14-inch grapevine, so anywhere you can find them is fine. I come over here to the trash can, make my job a little easier. Some of these I can just pull right off. Some of them I can't. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I do want to get a lot of the crazy pieces off. I want this one to be a little cleaner. So many crazy pieces in this one. I probably could have picked the cleaner one out of my pile, but I didn't. That might be good enough right there. Or we're going to call it good enough. I'm actually thinking that may be the back. Yeah. Probably. All right. So once we have our grapevine all trimmed up, we're going to see which side looks the best and then how it lays the best before we start designing. Got some crazy pieces still right there. This side, I like this side. Yeah. This is the side I'm going to put out. All right. As you can see, I've already pulled a few things. We've got some really bright blues, some pinks, yellows, purples, some springtime greens. We have this gorgeous metal butterfly. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. So if you guys are looking for that, I don't know which SKU you need, so I'll give you the one on the front is 5839329, and then the one on the back is HL 9169708. Piece of metal wall decor. And we're going to use our rustic wire to attach it to the wreath. I also pre-made our bow. Nothing fancy. It's a 5-loop, 1 ribbon, 2.5 inches. Very simple bow. 5 loops, 2 tails, nothing schmancy. So to start off, let's get our bow on. We're going to put our bow right about there. I'm just going to run the pipe cleaners through the grapevine. And then tie it off really well, really tight. I see that y'all are watching, so I say hi to me. Somebody talk to me. How are y'all doing? What projects are y'all working on this week? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and trim down the excess pipe cleaners in the back. And take and just tuck that in to the grapevine. Now I use brown so it blends in with the grapevine. If you don't want to see it at all, you can totally cover it with moss. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put the hanger on because I don't want this thing moving around. We're going to have some heavier pieces on it. So I'm going to take a section of the covered wire. Bend it in half. I'm going to find out where my center point is because that's where I want it to hang. I'm going to come about halfway through the wreath and put this through, feed it through the top, down through the top. I'm going to make sure I leave enough room to get my fingers in the loop because then you know you'll have enough room for a hook, to hang it on a hook. Okay, so I've got my 3 fingers in there. I'm going to bring these excess pieces up and just wrap them around like this. And you tuck the ends down inside the grapevine. Hands are a little sore today. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so now we've got our hanger on there. Can you see that? Nice little hanger. Oops. Okay, so that's how we do the hangers. Woo! Easy peasy. Oh, I think I needed to put it over some. I did because I want my bow hanging right here. All right, let's try this again. Wash, rinse, repeat. I wasn't paying attention, and I guess I moved positions because I put it wrong. But I want to make sure that it's hanging right. I want to move the bow, but I already cut the pipe cleaner, so the bow's stuck. Let's hang it back up again. We want the bow right about there. So right here on this piece. Take 2. You know what? I'll use that piece for something else. I don't want to unwind the covering, and I will, trying to feed it through there. So let's try this again. Okay, take your section of covered wire. Right about here. I'm going to set it down on my table just to help me feed it through, and then I'll show you. Stuffed up my cuticle. Okay, so I've pulled it through the back. Yep, it's good. So I'm going to take the ends, I'm going to pull it through, make sure I've got enough to get my fingers in there. I'm just going to wrap this around the base right there. Hard to do holding it up here so you guys can see. I'm sorry. Okay, so then you'll take the ends, kind of stick them down inside the grapevine or leave them pointed to the front if you're going to cover that part with greens. Either way is fine. Okay, so here we go. We've got our hook again. All right, so on we go. Our bow's in the right position. Fantastic. Now, I want this. We're going to attach this, like I said, with the covered wire. I'm just going to cut off a couple of sections. This stuff holds pretty sturdy, so you don't need more than a couple of anchor points. All right, so I've cut a section. As you see, the butterfly has holes along the side of it, so that's what I'm going to run it through and attach it to the grapevine wreath. So let's put her back up here. All right, so second one and first one. So let's just get our wire in there. I'll bend it a little bit so it doesn't move around. So you guys, I have some news. I've been working really hard the last couple of weeks because I woke up the other day and I had lost access to my website, the website I've had since I started this business. There is no way for me to recover my information. So I had been thinking about rebranding for quite some time. Like it was just something weighing really heavy on my heart. And, you know, when I started HAYLO Creative Designs, it was a name I came up with, you know, on the fly. I didn't really put a lot of thought into it other than, you know, it just being a mashup of my son's names. But I'm going to have to take this down while I'm pushing this wire through. So, you know, I was never really super happy with it. And I mean, it was okay. You know, it is what it is kind of thing. So I'd, you know, been thinking for quite some time that I wanted to rebrand, and I really wasn't sure how to do that. So when I woke up the other day and realized that my website was toast, I decided now it was time. So I've spent the last little bit creating a new website and rebranding myself. So my new business name is Halos and Blooms. So I kept the HAYLO just because that's, you know, pretty important to me with it being the mashup of my kids' names. But I just felt like Halos and Blooms is more of who I am. When I started the company, I didn't know who I was. I was just making mesh wreaths because that's what I saw, you know, everybody doing. But you know, now that I've been doing this for a while, I've had time to figure out who I am and grow as a designer. And it was time to grow my business up as well. So if you guys see halos and blooms, don't panic. It is just me, the new and improved look of Halo Creative Designs. So also, I do have greenery in my shop now for you guys to use. It will be greenery that you see me using. So if you see greens that you like, check my shop on Etsy because I might have some. Some things, once they're gone because I can't get any more. But I do have a few things. Okay. So we've got our butterfly on. You can't even budge that sucker. So I'm going to go ahead and feed the grapevine wire down into the wreath. There we go. You can't even tell. I want it to go way down in there. So how about I trim this down some? It's harder to feed wads of the wire through. What can I use? Maybe the other side. Trim it down just a little. Just point it in. So see, now on the back, you can't even tell where we attached the butterfly. And she's not going anywhere. Pulling a couple more pieces off the bottom here. Okay, now we got the hardest two parts on, the bow and the side. Before I start putting greens in, just gonna shape my bow a little. All right, we'll worry about the tails in a bit. Now comes the fun. Okay, so we're gonna start with one ficus bush. I picked this one up. It looks like at Michael's, but Michael's, Hobby Lobby, pretty much all those places have ficus. Craft Outlet has ficus. I'm pretty sure even you could probably find some, or you could find you some. I don't have any in my shop, but I only am trying to do the unusual stuff, not the common stuff. So, all right, so I'm just going to take and bend it. I think I need to zoom out just a little bit. Hold that thought, y'all. And let me zoom just a little. There we go. Okay. So I'm just giving it some life. This piece we're going to put right up under there. So we're going to have to cut this down. I'm not cutting it apart. I just cut down the end of it so I can easily stick it in there. So we're going to lift up the skirt of the bow. We're going to come right under here, lay it flat, and weave it in. Remember, greens are on wires, so we can totally smooth it around. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to be messing with these tails. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. We'll use this sparkly orange. That way it'll stand out to me. So since I want these tails really long, but they're in my way, I'm going to take and roll them up. Then I'm just going to fold a pipe cleaner. I know you've got some that you probably won't ever use. So just fold it around it. That holds the curl. It's not pretty. Doesn't have to be pretty. It's just got to hold it while you're working. That is all. I just want them up out of the way. All right, see? Curls controlled. All right. Next, let me just pull out some of my greens here. I brought a few. Wasn't really sure which ones I was going to use. I have these, some of these in my shop. They're like a succulent berry boxwood combo kind of look. So I might put one or two of these. Trying to decide which one of these. I brought 3 different types. I brought this long kind of mixed grass. Here's a different type of mixed grass, just a little shorter. I like this one because it's got the real light spring green and the darker green. And then this is fishtail fern. And I have some of this too. I wasn't sure. I kind of like it, but in moderation. So also we've got the flowers. So we're going to bring in a couple of these. I'm going to go ahead and clip 2 off. We might use 3. We might not. But I do know for sure that we won't be using all of the leaves. So I'm going to, these come with 2 sets of leaves. I'm going to pull 1 set off. Just going to do a dry placement run here for a second. So at the end, if you have any mechanics to cover on the back, your leaves that you pulled off, they're perfect to use for that. If you don't have moss. Just trying to get an idea of what I want here. I haven't made this. It was just an idea in my head. So this might be good if we, oops, fall apart. So that coming down, that going up. So we're going to cut this down as well. This is that fishtail fern. Need to save that. So I cut all the pieces down. And each little vein kind of gets tangled on it on the next one. So I just try to go through and separate them the best I can before I place them. This one you can shake like that. It's just going to get tangled up on itself again. Yep, I'm going to pull that off. Put these in just a minute. Ow, it was hot. I'm just bending this a little bit upwards to give it some life. I'm going to take another piece and go up under. What's my longest piece? They both are kind of the same. So I'm going to go over here on this side. Oh. So I've got one coming out this side. I'm going to come out this side now. Hi, honey. Hi. So far? Colorful. Very cool. Yes. Okay, so we've got that coming out there. Let's maybe do one more piece. I'm going to pull. There we go. Right here, I think. So I've kind of put that one right here in the center of the bow, but I've kind of got the bow behind and in front of it. So it's kind of like in the middle of the two tails. Now, I think we can go in with these. So we're going to do two, I think. We're going to come trying to figure out how I want them right now. Cut this down just a little bit more. I don't need it sticking out so far. I'm going to come on this side of the bow. Weave that in. Where's the moss? I am going to take a little piece of moss, wad it up into a ball. I just got a little extra glue on it. And I'm going to shove it into the space around that flower. What that's going to do is going to help hold it in position. It gives more surface area for that stem to grab onto. Loving my fingers. I'm gonna replace that one. It's riding too low on my bow. Rolling again. Higher this time. for the next one. Oops, don't do that. I just pulled the head off. If you pull a head off or if a piece falls off, make sure you glue it back on. Don't just stick it back on there, because if you don't glue it back on, inevitably it's going to fall off in shipping. So it's like the customer opens their box, it's like, ooh, extra pieces. Not. All right, so this one we're going to come down here with. So I left the stem a little longer. My line. I might do one more. I'm not. Right, this I also got at Michael's. And 461615. That is the SKU for this. Not sure. I might. That right there. Hi, Kay. Hi, Nancy Lynn. How are you ladies doing today? I'm going to take this. I'm going to put it, maybe I need to trim it down just a little more. I think so. Yay. All right, better. So I'm going to come up under with this. Now, let me do this and then I'll say something. We're creating some length with this piece that we just put in, but we're also bringing the color around. So it's not the same color, but it's color enough. I really want this behind. There we go. Okay. So hold it up. So far, this is what we're looking at. All right, now let's add this green right here, because I'm not going to use a lot of it. They're really big. So we'll start with 3 pieces. to the right side here. And a place to put this in. There we go. So we've got one coming out the top of the bow right there. We'll do another one out this side. It's just about balancing from one side to the other. I'm going to take another piece of moss. This side of the grapevine has some really loose, airy pieces in it, and I don't have a lot for the stems to grab onto in there. Thank you. Glad you like it. Something a little different. Got this longer one I'm going to put coming out down here. Go. And one more piece, I think. We're going to put it way down there. Add a little depth. We're going to take this piece and put it way back here in the back. Kind of hanging off the side there. I'm forever fluffing my bow. Y'all know me. All right, now let's add some color. I brought a few different things. So we have some yellow filler flower, which actually looks really cute. Some bright pink daisies. We're probably going to add in a couple of those. We have these yellow palms. These are just adorable. They're soft. They're not soft, but to look at them, they look like they would be soft, like a baby's blanket, you know, a baby stuffy toy. But now that I have those up against it, I'm not sure I really like them for the simple reason they're dense. Okay, we have a lot of dense pieces in the flowers and the bow. So now we need to add here and up in here with lighter, airier pieces to kind of balance it out. So we've got a little bit of purple. I really like the purple. So we're going to go in with some of that, I think. And here's some white. I can't pronounce this. Astilbe. I think I'm saying it right. And I like these just because they're different. They come in different colors. I think I've got white and pink. I'm gonna, there's two big veins on here. So I'm gonna cut that down into two pieces. And have that one coming right out of the top here. Now we have this other long piece. I'm taking the green leaves off because we have plenty of green. I'm honestly thinking about taking out this piece right here. I think I might just do that. If I need to, I could put it back in. But right now, it's just weighing really heavy right there. So I'm going to spread these apart a little bit. That's where I'm going to go in with this. Because it's on wire, what are we going to do? We're going to bend it. That's what we're going to do. All right, I do like that. So we've come into the top. We've created a line by coming down to the bottom. We've created a line here with our blue, and we've got the blue coming all the way around, giving us our shape. Oh, she's so great already. All right, so let's take just a couple of these. Which ones do I want? These pink daisies. I really just like the green on here. Just looking at it thinking for a second, y'all. Bear with me. All right, let's take this long piece. We're going to put it back here. Hold on. I'll probably have to cut the stem down. So let me just get it in and check. Make sure I like it. No, don't like it. So we're going to start underneath and build it from there and then see how it starts to lay. And we'll go from there. Okay, we've got some pink here, so we need to bring some pink over here to this side, okay? I always trim up the little nubs, make my stems look nice and neat. If I'm not using the green off that piece, I cut that nub off. Come up under there with this one. Do one more, maybe in the back there. Just bringing the pink through the design. So again, to create some depth, we're going to take this piece and come up underneath. Yep, I'm going to need it that long. So you see how long I left this stem? That's because the bottom of my grapevine is right here, but I want the flowers to show down here. So I have to leave my stem, whoops, that long so it can reach the wreath. So I'm just going to move these pieces out of my way. Come up under here and find a good point. There we go. Perfect. So that's probably all the pink we're going to use, unless I decide to put this one in like right here, and I just might. But I want to add some purple, and I need to add a little bit of yellow. I don't like that yellow. Let me see if I've got some different airy yellow. Ooh, this would be cool. So would these. I've got a couple of different options here. I've got these. I love these. This is like a heather bush, I think. It doesn't say. I think it's a type of heather. And this one is a blossom branch. So this one is really cool. I picked it up the other day. Let's see how awesome that is. Yeah, I like this. We're going to go with some of this. So part of it is on wire and the other part is just kind of floppy. So you'll have to figure out what works best for you. I think I'm going to go in right here with this first piece. Yeah. And we've got another one that will come to the other side. Balance it out. Another little piece up top. Hey, Susan, how are you? All right. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. I got um, about an hour nap. I didn't go to bed at all last night because I was putting the finishing touches on my website, my new website. I don't know if any of y'all have seen my posts, but I lost access to my website, the one I started when I started HAYLO. So I've been in the process of rebranding, and I kind of let that cat out of the bag this morning. So yeah, it it's a good day. I need one more yellow piece that I'm going to pull way back in the back here. Just kind of spreading those greens out some. They're really heavy right there. Thank you, Susan. I got it, the butterfly at Hoblob. The lob. So this is coming up under the back, just to kind of bring the yellow all the way through the piece. Do a handstand. Stick out your tongue, hold your breath. All right, beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna let the tails down now. I'm trying to see where we're at. Let's come behind just a little. There we go. Not liking this tail, so I'm gonna bring it to the top. I reckon I really needed it to be down. That was part of the design, so I'm just gonna make it work. I think the problem is I've got too much tail, so I'm gonna trim some of this down. We're done with the yellow. Yes, ma'am, I did. It's a 14-inch though, but as you can see, this is not going to be no small wreath. It's not small. Yeah, we're not going to add those. That's just too much. I'm really getting kind of ridiculous now with as much as I've put in it, but I like dense and lush, and that's just the way that I design. So I need to pull some of this. I think I do. It kind of brings the whole piece together. I didn't put any of this through the top, so I think that'll be the last thing that we add. Let me just get everything up and out of my way here. All right. there. I'm going to come into this side. I'm going to have to turn it. There we go. It was dark. I couldn't see. Come behind that one over here. And I think that's probably going to be good. This just gives a little backing for the flower, the head here, big huge one, so it softens it a little bit. All right, let's look at it straight on. Oh, it's so pretty. I need a little piece of yellow coming out of the bow though, I think. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. I'm going to take this single yellow piece, come right here, and stick it in. Let's see. I'm just adding little pieces now. Thank you, Tracy. Thank y'all, thank y'all. Honestly think that's probably good. Maybe I can get this one in there. Get this one last little straggler piece of yellow in the bow. We'll do it right in here. Then I'll go and I'll kind of press the bow together around it, kind of let it adhere. There you go. Okay. No, we need some pink right there. It's missing. It's missing. Yeah, we'll do that one. I just happen to have a single pink piece. So let's come right here. Perfect. Okay. All right. Let's zoom out, y'all. Hang on just a second. Not zooming out. Wait, it did. Okay. There we go. Yay. Okay. What do y'all think? It measures from the top to the bottom. It's 31 inches long, and it is, what is this, 24, about 27 inches wide. So 27 by 31 on a 14-inch frame, y'all. Adorbs. All right. Class is over. If y'all have any questions, please leave them down below and I'll come back and answer them. And if not, I will see you lovelies not next Friday because it's actually my kids' spring break and we're going to be in Gatlinburg. But I'm going to reschedule that one for the week after. So we'll have the week, not next week, but the week after, we'll have two classes in that week. And I will post when the rescheduled day is for. So yes, happy Easter, Sherry. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nancy Lynn. Thank you. Carl, the wreath stand came from, crap. Lori knows. Lori's usually on these and she tells me every time. I can't remember. I'll find out. Susan. Maybe Susan knows. Oh, happy Easter, everybody. I hope y'all have a blessed weekend. Be safe if you're traveling, and I will see you guys in about 2 weeks, okay? Love y'all. Thank you for being here with me today. Wait, Carl, you said you live in Knoxville? Well, it's funny you say that because we're actually going to be staying in Morristown. That's where my sister-in-law lives. So we're going to be staying there, and we'll just drive down to Pigeon Forge in Gatlinburg, during the day, then come back at night. We were going to get a room, and when I first saw the room rates, I'm like, okay, we could do this for a couple of nights, no big deal. But I didn't book right away because I wanted to talk to my husband. So by the time I got around to talking to my husband about it and went back to look at rooms, they had skyrocketed. I guess there's some kind of event coming into town. And yeah, so rooms were being snatched up and they were jacking up the prices. So we just decided to make the drive from Morristown into the touristy stuff every day. So, well, maybe when I'm over that way, we could meet up and have some lunch and discuss or go shopping, discuss wreaths. I'll have my hubs and my kids with me, but I'm always, excited to meet fellow wreath makers. All right. I'm going really this time. I promise. I'll see you guys.